Hello, Vision. Thank you for joining me today for this Uplift from Vision. My name is Marcus Gilliland. I am a licensed practitioner at Vision, licensed through the Centers for Spiritual Living to provide spiritual guidance and support, and it is my pleasure to be with you here today. For today's Uplift, I will read from 365 Science of Mind for February 5th, perhaps a short reflection, a meditation, and then ending with prayer. Again, thank you so much for joining me today. And now from 365 Science of Mind, let's see what Ernest Holmes has to say for February 5th. Entitled, I Know That Life Responds to Me, he begins with a quote from the book of Isaiah, chapter 35:1. The desert shall rejoice and blossom as the rose. The law of life operates through your affirmation. Nothing can hinder its working but yourself. There is no more of it on the desert than there is on the busiest street corner, and it will not respond any more quickly because we go up into the temple. It is everywhere. Therefore, it is where you are, and most of all, it responds where you recognize it. Your recognition makes possible its response through you. This is the secret of faith. Faith is the supreme affirmation. It is the unconditioned affirmation. It is the affirmation that makes all things possible to the one who believes in the power of God. Know that nothing can hinder you but yourself. If you believe you can, you can. You cannot fail if you start with the proposition that life is all there is. It is the substance of every form. As the invisible, it is the cause. As the visible, it is the effect. Right now, I move from fear to faith. I let go of all doubt, distrust, worry, and fear. I change the direction of my life by focusing my thoughts on God, the life within me, everyone and everything. I have supreme faith in the power of God to still the troubled waters and to make the crooked places straight. What I find affirming about this reading is that indeed it is up to us to make the decision to welcome that power and that presence in our life, to use it, to consciously make the effort, to say, today I am going to be without fear. Today I choose to focus on the power of God working in my life, because it's working all the time. Everything that we do, everywhere that we go, everything that we say, everything that we experience in any way is completely filled with the power and the presence of God. And as we acknowledge that presence, as we enter into it joyfully, knowing that it receives us wherever we are, whoever we are, however we are, it makes that relationship real. It makes the use of affirmation more useful. It makes the application of faith something that is a day-to-day experience rather than something that is talked about in class or discussed from the pulpit. It is a daily activity. It is a daily affirming that the life of God is the only life that there is and that it's moving through us right now at this very moment. So let's just go within for a moment, taking a nice deep breath. And recognizing where you are at this very moment. Perhaps you're seated in a chair, perhaps you're sitting in front of a computer, perhaps your TV is set up to receive YouTube, perhaps you're holding a phone. Wherever you are, it is possible to be still. It is possible to recognize that the power and the presence of God is right where you are, at the very center of your being. And just taking a moment to ponder what that feels like, to recognize the heartbeat and the lungs, the whole working of the bodily system as an expression of this divine power within each one of us, knowing that it is the one life. And further taking that recognition and knowing that we can turn away from fear at any moment. Knowing that whatever message comes across the TV, the radio, family members, friends, media, social media, if in any one of those places a sensation of fear arises, we can turn within to that part of us which is eternal and knows no anxiety, knows no stress, indeed is full and rich and powerful. It is that place within that has never known worry, has never known harm. And as we turn our attention to it, it grows within us, its power more palpable, moving out from us into the world, creating a sensation around us of that same power, that same peace, that same grace. Knowing that that faith in the invisible substance in turn creates for our lives, within our lives, in our experience, conditions, both good and bad, both preferred and unpreferred. So just take a moment now to feel the sensation of your body, to feel if there is anywhere in the shoulders or in the face, the back, legs, inside your body, anywhere that carries a sensation of tightness or non-flow, restriction of any kind. Gently allowing this power and this presence to be the reality of your life, knowing that in spirit there is no restriction, there is no pain, there is no congestion. And feeling what it is like to know freedom of movement, freedom of breath, freedom of thought, freedom to be still. Knowing that there is no forcing in this to happen, but a welcoming of it to be the reality of our experience. Knowing that we can welcome it at any time, bringing it into our consciousness and saying, this is good. This is very good. So starting at the toes, moving up through the feet and ankles, into the shins and calves and knees, releasing any tension, any grief, any harm. moving into the thighs and the hamstrings and buttocks, into the sacral area, knowing all is well, all is peaceful, all is welcome. And moving up through the midsection, giving thanks for the great working of our bodies, and knowing that there is a divine blueprint to each and every part of our bodies, and giving thanks for their perfect functioning, knowing that there is a reality that is perfect. It is the spirit within, moving through each part of our body, and into the lungs and the heart, and this area that the world is so focused on right now, knowing freedom of breath, the inhalation of spirit, the exhalation of spirit, knowing it all good, all health, all peace, all joy. And into the shoulders and down our arms and into our hands, these appendages that do so much work for us, giving great thank for the flexibility, releasing any sense of pain, of joint, of tendon, just knowing free flowing of blood and nerve function. And up into our throats, where we have these vocal cords that allow us to communicate, perhaps to sing. And traveling up through the neck, into the face, relaxing the ears and the eyes and the scalp. And letting that energy just fly out the top of our heads, cascading down again as light filled with every possible jewel tone and reflection. Now pray with me, please. Knowing that there is indeed one power, one presence, one life, one light. It is all there is. It is the power behind all creation. There is nothing above it, nothing beside it, nothing below it. For it is all that is. It is beyond comprehension, it is beyond description. And yet it is intimate and close to each one of us. It is right here where I am, expressing in me and through me and as me. Every particle of my being is only possible because God is, and God always is. Therefore, I always am. And not only myself, but I speak this word for all those who hear this message, knowing that God is right where they are. God is all that they are. Every particle of each being is an expression of God, full and rich, necessary and important. And not only for the individual, but for the world, for all of the creatures, great and small. Knowing that everything is an expression of God, turning the attention to those things that may seem as if they are meant for harm, knowing that there is no harm in God, and releasing them from any sense of purpose, from any sense of necessity, knowing that those things that do not support the operation of these bodies, this divine blueprint that has been established for us, simply drifts away, revealing the truth of wholeness, the truth of health, the truth of personal expression, the truth of life abundant, rich and powerful. And knowing in that richness that there is no emptiness in God. I see now pantries full of food. I see bank accounts flowing with funds, both flowing in and flowing out, a reciprocal relationship of support, of finances, of food. Knowing that relationships are well, those that serve us are strengthened, those that do not serve are gently released knowing that there is a purpose and a situation and a welcoming place for each soul. And in that sense of welcome, and that sense of abundance, and that sense of safety and of right functioning, I just simply give great thanks for this time. I give great thanks knowing that it is the truth of Spirit that we affirm in this moment right now, and that in that affirmation we have this recognition of the faith that abides within us and provides us the gateway to the ultimate power of God working in our lives. And I know that this is the truth of each one of us. I affirm this, I lift it up, giving great thanks for this time, for this moment within our day, to be at peace, and to recognize the love of God as working in each one of our lives. I just simply release this prayer into the law, knowing that indeed before I even began speaking, the answer that was necessary was present. And in that joy and in that gratitude, I do release and I let go. And so it is. Again, thank you so much for joining me for this Uplift on Friday, February 5th. I know blessing and peace for each one of you out there, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Blessings to all. Bye-bye for now.